Thank you, Julia.
Jump in the back down small so that you don't have to be stretching. How is life going? What are you doing these days?
Oh yes. Let me first of all greet you and your management, and I want to say a very big thank you to you for the opportunity you give us to speak to the Liberian people. I want to say thank you, and I want to say good afternoon to our Liberian people, those that are listening to us right now, and those that are in diaspora are following the show now. So we're in the private sector. We're doing our thing as usual because we came from private sector before we went to government. So we're going right back to what we were doing, and we enjoy doing it.
Give us a little background about you. Who were you before you became Minister of Public Works?
So actually, I'm a business person. I run a company called Tabitha. At the time, it was Tabitha Renaissance Engineering and Design, and I was into construction business, and we were doing some contracts for both government and the NGO, the private sector, and that's what we were doing. And by the grace of God, we got spotted because our last work we did was with the Pueblo Road. We were one of the contractors that did the drainage, the curb on the Pueblo Road. I was in the private sector. I had a contract to do. That was the last place I worked before I came to government. So I'm a business person and had my own company. I've been the CEO for my company. Now the company name is Tabitha Renaissance Group of Companies because we are involved in so many things. Besides the construction, we are into farming. We do wholesale, we sell, like we bring in tires, commodity, basic building materials things. We bring in the country and sell it to our customers.
Okay. Let's go to your time at Public Works. Give us an idea. How did it happen to you?
And the first thing I would say, God is great, because I just can't explain how I found myself to where I was at the time, because I want to give a big thank to my mother. Person we are is a passionate person. When he sees somebody, he take the thing. So there was a building that got burned on the Oro Chibod, and then my mother, she's the current superintendent for the Oro market.
Okay.
And then she had been, fighting hard to get those in leadership to help to rebuild the Oro market. So when she heard personally where I was going, Chubor, and she ran after him, and she started to narrate her story. And she actually, she was very close to the person where I late mother. So when she started to narrate her story, he got attached, and then he told Pepsi Yeke to get her closer. And then she told her the market was, it was in a very bad condition, and she needed help to rebuild the market. In fact, the proprietor for the market was selling it. So she came and told me the story, and then she gave my number. So in that process, I got contacted by Pepsi Yeke, and then I managed to form part of the market dedication to meet the president at the foreign ministry. And then when we got to the foreign ministry, the marketeer, they spoke all the cool. And then the president said, "But you're quiet, why are you not speaking?" And that was the golden opportunity I had to pitch myself. And then I told the president that indeed I'm an engineer, that I work for the UN, because I worked for the UN for almost 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes, both local staff and international staff.
International where?
I was in Timor-Leste. I spent 5 years there. Yes.
Sometimes I call it East Timor.
East Timor, yeah. Mm-hmm. So while there, I told the person he was interesting because I think he has something that he actually wanted to promote female in the engineering sector or in the public works. So he took my details, I gave him mine, and then once in a while I would check in, and there was an issue that came up with deputy minister, and then he couldn't identify my number with all of the numbers he had. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was saying, I said God is great, because I was working for Mr. Yipoti, and Mr. Yipoti were in that meeting, And then the president was thinking about me, how to get in touch, you know.
Okay.
And right there, Mr. Iputi was able to say, yeah, but Prada, I know her. She's a contractor. She's working right now in the pipeline road. And then I got called, and I was like, I never went to go before. So it was that long time. We'll talk briefly. We may not be able to cover everything because we did a lot. We'll talk about the basic ones. I want to start with the African Development Bank projects.
Okay.
So let me just flip through my page. So we'll start with the African Development Bank project. We work in River G. There was a lot of work going while we were serving as minister.
This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us former Public Works Minister Ruth Collins. We'll come to all of the allegations and different things. We are setting the basis for her to tell us exactly what they did.
Do I have one? Last allegation.
Yeah, there are allegations. So lead our way. We'll come to them. But let's get the basis of what.
Okay, so with the African Development Bank, we will start from the Mano River Union Development and Transport Facilitation Program. The first lap pavement from Fishtown to Kalipo. We did that work, and before we left, our contract was signed August 3, 2021.
August 3, 2021.
Yes.
Okay.
And the contractor is Chico. So our expected time, to have closed the project was in 2022. But sometimes our partners, they have their own way of payment. Sometimes we have some delays. So, but before we left, up to December 2024.
That is 2023.
2023, sorry. For clearing and grubblings of the road, the entire road corridor, it was 100%. We have cleared everything. All the vegetation, everything, we have cleared everything. And we have also the covert installations. We installed all of the coverts. The engineering compound, it was at 98%. And the bridges that we're building, it was at 80%. We have more than 8 different bridges, different bridges. But it was at 80%. And then the subgrade, where the lateral and all of the formation of the FY before the people can start, it was at 100%. So the base cost was at 69.5%. So I just tried to explain it. I hope you understanding it because because there was a percentage for which we left it, and I think your fact finders can actually find out. So on the overall, we left that project at 68.84% when we left the government. The Fishtown to Kalipo project.
Okay.
So then we go to the scene. African Development Bank, the Mano River Union Road Development, the program. Phase 2 of it was from Kalipo to Fishtown on the same, because we all targeting schedule. So the one from the back, that's what I'm talking about. So it was 80 kilometers. Okay, I didn't talk about the one, it was 20 kilometers.
Okay.
So this one is 80 kilometers from Kalipo to Fishtown. Kalipo to Kaluken, sorry.
Okay,
Kaluken to Fishtown, sorry.
Okay.
So when we left, the clearing, the grubbling was 100%, the cover installation was 100%, the engineering compound, the engineers compound was 100%, the bridges were at 97%. And then the subgrade was at 100%, the base coat, the barnacle, all of them were at 100%. The wearing codes were at 66%. The installation of the governor metal rail, the guide rail for the beaches, all of those one was at 99%. And the project overall progress was at 92% when we left the Ministry of Public Works. So to give some details, because say this 1%, this 1% about this one. The pavement from San Nicolas to Lokwa 2.
Yes, from San Nicolas to Lokwa.
It is 47.1 kilometers.
Okay.
And that project started, it was signed. The consultant is actually, the contractor is CRSG, and the project commenced November 2nd, 2020. So we, at the time, the clearing and the grubbling was completed 100%, the covered installations were completed 100%, engineering compound were completed 100%. So we had 8 different bridges on that same road.
Yeah.
So the first bridge was at 68.2% when we left it. The second bridge was at 51.0% when we left it. The third bridge was at 61.2%. The fourth bridge was 71.0%. The fifth was 67.2%. The sixth was 56.1%. The seventh was 51.0%. And the last one we have just started, so we were 0.8% when we left government. So the overall progress, we did the embankment construction, it was at 87.7%. The subgrade was at around 56.9%. The cross-stone base was around 50%. The barnacles were around 49.5%. And the wearing coast was at 47.6%. So the overall progress we left that work was at 70% when we left.
I think it is still at that level.
I have not traveled now.
Yeah, I have been there over and over. I think there is some kind of stopping of that project. It hasn't continued. There were reports of some complaining. I think the company also that is doing the work there also.
Okay, so but actually when I left government,
yeah, but because I know I have traveled to Logo, I told 2 or 3 times since you left.
Okay.
Power. I see where the bridges stop, where the roads, the pavement doesn't continue. They have to bypass the bridges that are being built.
Yeah, it was that percent. We left it at 70%.
So I can attest to that one because I've seen it.
Okay, great. So we will flip a little bit to go to the World Bank projects. We'll go to the World Bank project. And the World Bank project, before we got there as the CDC government, there was 2 projects that was ongoing. We had the Libran one. The Libran is the Liberian Road Asset Management Project. That was the first lot was the one from Banga, the one that going to Banga, right? From Raleigh to Banga. That was the first lot. It was done on the party leg. The reason why I'm going to talk about it because I want to speak keenly about the continuity because they finished it. 2023 it was 2020 it was ongoing. Almost we had some minor things to do about it. The lot 2 was from Banka to Ganta. That was the second lot. So the project did not finish completely. Right? We had some other things to do, like some places there we had to do maintenance. We had to, because the bank still had to do that. So we were continuing with it. So then again, it came in another lot from the cocoa factory to Eardary Junction. That was 6.1 kilometers, and we actually started that December 27, 2018. We started that one, and it was at, when we were leaving, it was at 93.8%. Because we had to do the roundabout, and there was some hitch up because the bank actually has some issue the way we went in the red leg to because the marketeers they kept they couldn't get a chance, so we went a little bit and then we said, oh, we gotta give a chance. So the bank has an issue and we are going back and forth with the project. So it was at 97, it was at 93.8% when we left it, just 7 to have it completed. So the roundabout, I don't know whether it was actually dedicated because it was almost finished, and in my mind it's not finished yet because the plan and program we got for it is still Austin. I see some artificial stuff there. That was not the plan and idea. That's why I said to have to give our visitors, our partners, those that will be coming in the country, to give them to make them to believe that it's a green country. We are green because we wanted to go natural to natural grass and all of those ones. But I see something the carpet, So it's still not finished. I can see in my mind. Maybe we kind of talk about that. Okay. So we have the Southeastern Road Asset Management, which is a secret. The government took that bold step. That was the issue where the bank is saying, okay, this road you want to do it, you have to take the first giant step, which is the 39 kilometer from Ganta to Sakepi. And then the government,
the World Bank.
The government, our government, that was the government first project. The government, because the World Bank is looking at us. We want to pave the road from Ganta to Shredu. So the bank said to know that you are really, really, serious about what you're saying, take the first giant step.
Okay.
And then our government took the first giant step and they started the first Sikram project, which was 39 kilometers. And we started, that project was around $32.752 million project. And it was 39 kilometers. And then we worked, and the work started, and the work was actually ongoing, and we left it at, sorry, let me see what the percentage is. But we started working on it, and we went so far with it. And I think it's still ongoing because
yes, it is. At one point during your administration, it kind of stalled. Because I think there were some financial issues.
Exactly, because it was being financed by the GOL through the road fund. And we had so much to do with the issue of road, so we were kind of very much in tackle with where to go. So it was around 15.21% when we left it.
Yeah, so, sure. Yeah. Because it didn't go very far.
Yeah, it didn't go very far.
It went out of Ganta and then there's a break around that bridge, and then it picks up from there. It went, and then it stopped. And then there's another breakage in between, and it went a little bit further, and that was where it stopped, because I was traveling along that line.
Exactly. So don't break, you saw there's some critical sections that we needed to do a lot of work. So when you see that place like that, you leave it and jump to the next day. But it was just not too long, it was not too far when we actually left it. So we actually go to the retract. The one that takes us from Tapeta to Totem. That one was signed. It was signed September. Sorry, it was signed August 2023.
You mean the
Tapeta to Totem?
The contract.
The contract was signed.
The financial value of it?
The financial value was 32. Sorry, it was $32,750,000.
You signed it?
Yeah.
Your government, that means the money was secured.
The money is secured. Yeah, we signed that contract.
Okay.
So we signed that contract, the contractor got started, and then the work was actually ongoing when we left. Let me grab the percentage of which we went before we left. So let me be talking. So we signed that, and work commenced. Out of the F work was ongoing, and it was the actual expected time to complete that work. It was in September 2026. That was what we projected to have finished the work. The contractor was mobilized, the campsite was built, and all of the information about that road work had just started when we left. So we go to Ganta to Sanikole. Ganta to Sanikole, the contractor for the retrap, the first retrap was CRCO, C-R-C-O. And Ganta to Sanikole, the contractor is CSE, and that road was funded by ArcelorMittal itself.
Okay.
And the work for that contract, it was 37 kilometers. The work for that contract was $47,085,000. That contract was signed. It was signed 2021. Sorry, July 21st, 2015. The contract was signed.
Okay. By the previous administration to your administration.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there was some issue, but we completed at 100%, even though we did not do the dedication before leaving, but it was completed 100% when we left the government.
Did you, apart from the signing by the UP government then, did you meet work started?
So,
I mean, the Ganta to Sanipoli.
let me just do a little research because it was an inherited contract during my training because I did not start fully with them. But when I started, it was work in progress. When I got started with it.
Okay. Yeah, so we can move to the next one.
Yeah, sure. So I just want to be clear, with what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. So the next one is Ganta. Okay. It's Banka to Salaye. That contract was done by Chico, and it's 81 kilometer. That is being funded by Badia, the Arab funding, the Arab.
That is
Banka to Salaye.
Okay.
Banka to Salaye being funded by our Arab donor partners. And the work for that project, it was 81 kilometer, and the cost was $47,937,433 for the ASIN. The work started June 1st, 2018, and we were projecting that.
You can please speak a little louder so people get you.
Okay, so the work was signed June 1st, 2018. And the expected time, to finish what we projected was July 31st, 2023. The total progress we left the work before we left, it was at around 91.94%. That's where we left it. And the total kilometer we did 67 kilometers out of 81 kilometers. Does
that project include going up to Vonjaman to the Sierra Leonean border?
No. So we started this negotiation from Salaye to Konya.
Okay.
Yeah, so the donor partners, they were still available. We had to travel to them to have some agreement because they actually financing the entire road. They and GL. GL part they kind of play is to pay the RAP payment along the line. So GL is always along those projects. So that project, it was at 91.94%. So the negotiation from Salaye to Konya was ongoing when we left.
Okay, but you talked about the targeted finish date you have been in 2023. Why didn't you finish?
So the finance were not coming from us. So like I said, it's a donor partner project. So sometimes our counterpart, partners, they got a delay in doing these things. So it was just at 91.9% when I left. I actually hope that I had all the money to finish it before I left government, but it was passing through a means, and we could not, control the means of which it was coming. So there was some delay in the payment, and we paved 67 kilometers out of the 91 kilometers.
Okay, so those were the major projects your government backed upon, mostly some not finished and all of that. Now, bring us to what other projects did you do as a government in terms of road pavement, road works and all that?
So, like I said, we'll come back to the African Development Bank projects, and we still have few to talk about.
Okay.
Or let me come back to our community road. There were a lot of community road done in our government because we saw that there was a need. So we did Tusafi U-curve. It was 2.6 kilometers.
You just speak to the microphone.
We actually did the Tusafi, the U-curve. It was 2.6 kilometers. And we did the section of the Corwell Dixville Road. It was 2.3 kilometers and it was completed. The section of the Corwell, the year that we had community road, it was 5 kilometers and it was also done. And we did the Chubor, the Pequeno.
That is Oro.
The Pequeno Fairground, the rehab community, and the Simaka Town Hall, Patient Shop Road, the Doison St. Beach, Surface Road, Soclene, East Island Community 540, the Weaver Street. The Bonjai community was 4.7 kilometers, the ERA2 community, the VOA, Menitema Road, Copper Farm Road, Morris Farm. The Banjo community, it was actually 3 kilometers, but we did 2.5.
Okay.
I have to be clear here. Later, we got started. It was 2.7. We did not go so far. It was just at 0.1%, 0.1 kilometer we paved and we left it. So we got the ERA community extension. We got the Kiwo community was 1.2 was completed. The Kissy Camp community, the Bashor project was also completed. The Copper Farm rehabbed, and the Didion Case Corner School was also done. The Pepland Road. I will talk about the Kakatown City Street because it was projected, but it was not done. Nothing was done there. We got the Chucky Taylor Road. It was also done. We got the Focal Mission. We got Lookington Broad Street, Dryers Market, 11.5.
That is Dryers Market to Johnsonville,
Johnsonville Market, yes. 11.5. We did 11.1. I think the 0.4 was something that was left to be done. Johnsonville, Market Road, it was 11.5. We did only 1.5. The Door Community 2.7. The 14 Military Hospital was 1.8. We did that. And the Riverview Community was 1.5. The 12 Horses Bypass Road was 2.0. 24th Street Community Road, Beachside was 0.1. The Weaver Street, 0.8. Carfee Road, 0.8. Benson Hospital Road, Sing Road, Red Light. It was also done. The Douala Road, opposite ERA Hospital, was also Douaka Road, opposite ERA Hospital, was also done. The ERA ABC Road, the VOA, R2 Community, Barclayville, City Street was done. The Greenville City Street was not paved because it was a chip seal.
Okay.
So there was a lot of needed to be done. Like I think many of us saw the formation of the RIA road, so we got knowledgeable how roads work are done. Beside the asphalting, there are a lot to be done. Only the base work before you do the pavement. So the Barclayville was done, but the Greenville, the covered lands were done. A lot of work was done, but it was not paved. That's why you see it's not that we did not touch it, but a lot of earth work was done. The Buffalo City Street is the same, and it was 2.5. The clearing was done. A lot of things. I think I heard something around here, but we'll speak.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, so it was also done for the basic earth work, the clearing, the vegetation. Because imagine, anyway, we'll talk about that. So there was also projected the Lapasi Zoo Road. These are projects that we left, So I sometimes get wavered when you cannot acknowledge other people that did it. So it was being contracted, the Lapasi Zoo Road. We did the contract was signed. The contractor is now working. I saw some pavement there. We also talking about the LRC road, for a contract that was signed and we left there on the decks. The Matadi Drive Road, the Popo Beach Road, the PCA Nizo Road, the Benafan Road, Ministerial Couple of that bypass where you see they're doing a lot of demolition. Those contracts were signed to the PPCC. We did everything. We were able to attract the contractor and all of those ones. But the Fontaine Road in Matadi was also done and paved. So these are things that we did.
Wow. So let me ask before we go to that. How did COVID impact the workers? Do you think you have done more if COVID had not intervened for like two years plus? Did it have an effect on the workings of the ministry?
I'm going to say yes, the COVID impacted us greatly. And some of the roads impacted, Mapodo Road is not an exception. Mapodo Road, the City Street Road was part of that road. Because imagine That road was signed, that contract was signed 2019 November, and the road was abandoned for 9 months. All of the vegetation came back, and then we had to go there around the table again to negotiate with the contractor and to do it. So it affected not only the Popodi road, but every other road. So because the road need continuous, maintenance, you doing road, you leave it for 9 months, rainy season comes and go. So it in many ways impacted our road works.
Let's come to RIA road. Tell us about it. It was one of the most talked about roads.
Yes, RIA road is one of our signature projects. And it all started with Peace International, and I just try to get a document so I can read a little bit because it's a detailed thing. Peace International had this contract with the government, the past government, before the CDC government, to do community road. And then when our government came, they saw the need that there's a need that we convert or divert this project to the main RIA road to expand.
So East International was supposed to work where?
Jimmy Joa Road, the road that leading
that's in Bomi.
In Bomi, leading to President Ellen's house.
Okay.
So that project was it was redesigned and it went to the RIA highway. So then we started. So the contract was signed, and we got started with the road. And I think we saw the politics around. And I can say this for free. East International, the project is the initial contract was that East should go out there and source funding. So we were in the process, of sourcing those fundings, and East initiated the work. So to have all things to be done, we divided the project into 2 sections, and we had a section from Monrovia and another section from the airport side. And East was actually in the Monrovia side, and they subcontracted the other side to a Chinese company called CR5 or something like that. Okay, so they actually contracted them, and they were doing their best. And then East International, for their reason, they were not doing well. And I actually said that it was being politicized. I said that East never had the capacity to do what they were doing because I was kind of always on the road, and I saw that the section, the subcontractor was exceeding, it was actually going very well, and they was going to delay. So East International got started with the road, and we went few percent before we left. Few areas were paved before we left.
Before you came to the paving, what all did you need? What all was done on the road? What all did the government do?
So
did you need to pay people off? Did you need to what sort of groundworks were done and all that?
So under our government, right? The CDC like I will keep saying under our government because I'm representing the CDC like government. So any project we did, you have to pay a RAP payment. You have to pay those people because for some reason they have resided along those corridors for years. They didn't know when government was going to be ready to do pavement. Some of them settled, they built their homes. So we resettled almost everybody on that corridor before we got started. Okay. It was difficult to get started because we saw that, His Excellency, the former president, he really didn't want us to do a lot of demolition because he was, the people's person. But they will have to go on.
So it was like he kind of insisted that before you demolish people's
you have to compensate them. You have to compensate them, and that's exactly what we did. Not only the RIA road, even the ministerials, the overpass which we're discussing today, we were in the process of finalizing the process with the Chinese because it's a grant. We we contributed 100% to have it, completed, before. But they had their own set time because it's a grant. They have their own set time to get started.
So they told you when they were going to start?
Yes, they told us when they were starting 2024.
That's what the Chinese told you?
Yes, what they told us.
In terms of the RAP payment, did you pay?
We paid the RAP payment up to probably 90%.
Okay.
I don't want to call on it, but one of the bigger business along that side, they were part of the process. Everybody, the only person we had some issue with was the building that is actually left right there. Right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be there, want to be calling it, but that was the building we had some issue with because our RAP team was because it was like before the guy got started, there was some conversation held, and he continued. We stopping at a point. Then he did not listen. He continued until he completed. So here the demand was actually just more than what we expected to pay, and was just on and off and on and off.
So the building was not actually supposed to remain.
The building, when he initially started, right, we put a mic on it, like we can do. We put a mic on it, and then he still went on to do what he had to do according to the RAP team. So when it went and got completed, the value increased, and that is that value he wanted us to pay. So what we could do to free our side, the Chinese came in because we were in the process of designing, going back and forth with the design work. And then the Chinese said there's a need, should not be followed. We can redesign this entire overpass and he will not be affected. And that's what it did.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, he's there. I think you can see he's just there. So all of the formation around him and everything was talked about and I mean everybody was paid around him and then how we moved to. So everywhere we work, even on all of the projects that we listed, the African. And one thing the World Bank and the African Development and the donor partners, they're actually very keen on. You cannot do any work without settling with people. Because for some reason, people don't know when you will get started, him on the way, I think there's a conversation supposed to be held. Yeah.
Now, what about the rubber sport from the New Road to Rubber Sport Road? Was there anything that the government did about it?
So the Medina Rubber Sport Road, it was signed. The contractor was mobilized, and the quarry site, the place is supposed to mix the quota, the crushing, everything was built.
Oh.
Yes. The contractor even started work. I will give you the percentage of where we did before we left. The contractor started, I think we paid a little bit portion before we left. So we had a slight delay because at first we were starting from Medina to Rubber Sport. So we had to go back on the drawing board and reverse the project to Rubber Sport to Medina because the community wanted to fill, the asphalt because to where we were starting from Medina, nobody lived there. So we had to go back to redesign that plan. That's how you see we started from Rubber Sport now coming to Medina. But that's a contract that we started. And the contractor is West Africa. This guy we call Fawaz in the SSF. He's one of the companies that is doing our work. So that's something that we started. We have footage of everything, his whole setup. We can actually send it so you can post it for us because we just need to be clear. Everything we can say that's something that is real.
Okay, now I think we've done a whole lot of exhaustion with the different things that two people did. Let's talk about this Boko project. The current public works minister believes that some underhanded things took place. The contractor allegedly did not do any work there, and you people paid like up to $1 million to them. What do you have to say about that?
So let me give the background of this project before we go in depth. And sometimes we cannot blame the current minister of public works because he coming from a different sector is actually leading a different sector. No engineer will say what he said on this video. No engineer. So in other words, technically he's not inclined because he's not an engineer. We discuss engineering here. So let me say these few things before I go further. So the road there was 3 different roads. The first one is Administrative Road 1 and 2 is 900 meters. The second row is King Saboso Street, 800 meters. The third one is Sawinta to Eriska UMC Road. It was 3 different roads that constitute this project, and it was 2.5 kilometers. So the contractors was mobilized. I don't want to speak to the fact that I was not there, when the contract was signed. It was signed November 2019, before the COVID. So the contractor, I got some picture evidence here. The contractor worked, they did grading, they did the stone patching. These are photos, probably we can post a little bit. These are photos. There was drainage done. I was in a soft copy actually, but I just wanted to show you. These are drainages. Stone patching. It's still there actually. So all these works were done, but when the COVID came, the contractor had to slow down. These are his earth-moving equipment that was mobilized on the side. These are guys working. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that that our work done, and the shooting aspect, almost like you building a house, right? You start from foundation, you have to do your foundation, do the columns, do your tile beams, and do everything, and then the chip shooting is the last thing supposed to be done. So we're in the preparation of preparing the road when the COVID came. And then the contractor left the scene in 9 months. We had to call the contractor back to continue. Because even though I didn't receive the first payment, but we were negotiating that he gets started. And to make him get started, he was saying, guys had already exhausted all the money, you saw the work we did. That's how the second payment came about. But one thing I want to make clear here, at the Ministry of Public Works, our works are in phases.
Okay.
We could have phase 1 to do clearing, to do the drainages, the cover lines, and everything. That could be phase 1. We will have phase 2, maybe to do the stone patching. So there were a lot of money left in the budget for this road because we did not do the sealing.
So that means after every phase, you can do payment.
Yes, and the payment is not just done single-handedly. We don't pay it. What we do is that we initiate the payment by our own assessment. So let me just tell you the truth. We got the project engineer. We got the project engineer. We have the resident engineer. We have the director. We have the assistant engineer, the deputy minister, the assistant minister, the deputy minister, before the minister. They all go there and verify what the work was done. Then to make payment, the Ministry of Finance, they have a compliance team. They also go on the site and verify that this project, this payment request that was sent
for this phase,
it must be verified before they do the payment, including the road fund. They have a compliance team. So it's actually possible that somebody will sit on this radio who failed to inquire and make loose statement. And I can say I'm disappointed in the current minister to sit here and say your thing was not done. That allegation is false. We have evidence that the work was done. The only thing I know that was not done was the sealing. Sufficient work was done.
Why wasn't the sealing done?
The sealing was not done for several other reasons. So the contractor said this work had been abandoned for 9 months. He wanted us to do an addendum to increase the price. We were going back and forth with this contractor, and And that's how, and it came machine 20.
What was the total value of the contract?
Let me just check this out. Like I said, I made this contract. I'll give the total value soon. Let me just check.
So you didn't pay that total value because the full work wasn't.
Yeah, we did not pay the total value. We paid per the phase that was done. Exactly. So I will try to get the total value probably maybe from my phone of that project. But work was done on the road. I can say the work was done. What was not done was the seeding. Seemed like the Greenville, there was a lot of work done, a lot of clearing, a lot of compaction, everything was done. Seemed like the Riverside City Street, but the seeding was not done. So the seeding is very, very, complicated to do. You don't do it when it's raining, you don't do it when it is raining. So we have to set the base, set the stage, and when everything is set and ready, boom, into the seeding, which is the chip seeding. So it was that stage, that it was left. You will still see the drainages. If you go on the road there, you will see the drainages. You can go to the road front, you can go to find out those that did the compliance, maybe probably you have the document, but there was document to say that the contractor will mobilize the work, and work was done on the site.
Okay. Now, what is this thing about you giving contract to your husband or his relative or whatever?
And I want to say thank you so much, Julia, for asking me this question, because this is the question that I have tried to explain over and over and over and again, and the Liberian will stay bringing out. I do not know Sebastian Collins. He is not a relative of my husband. And the contract in question, I do not sign it. That contract was signed between Sebastian and the road firm. So the road firms, they are an institution. They signed service contract. The contract they signed was a service contract. It was not a road works contract. So that contract was signed by the finance minister, the justice minister, and the road firm. If you check that contract, you will not see my signature there. So I just don't know. But at that time, it was last in propaganda. But we have reached the reality, and I can say this.
So this Sebastian Collins person is not related to your husband, except that they have the same last name.
The same last name, except everybody telling us that all the Collins are related to my husband in this country. I don't know Sebastian. The last time I interacted with Sebastian, he wanted us to do some business, and I said, no, I cannot do any business with you, because it would actually speak the foreign that I know you and you myself are doing business.
That is after this allegation came up.
No, just recently in this government.
That is what I'm saying. After the allegation came up, he came to you that.
Yeah. So I said, no, I can't do anything with you right now, because I don't want us to be seen together. People say, oh, that's the same thing we're saying. But I don't know Sebastian from anywhere, and he's not related to my husband. And the contract in question, I did not sign any contract. That was a service contract that was signed by the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Finance, and the road firm. I don't have my signature on that contract. So let me say this while I bring to the hearing. I do not know about that contract.
There's this thing in your county about some road that was supposed to be done. I've been hearing, because before you came on this air, I posted that you were coming and people were sending me stuff. So there's this thing about, I don't know, some allegations against you about a road incestors.
It's the same thing. And for them, they are blessed. It's the same thing we're discussing here. There were a lot of work done, cover lines were done, roads were, grading was done, everything was done. And the contractor, there was a delay in his payment, and the contractor did not do the sealing. It was the same sealing thing we're discussing here. So I don't understand why people would think that when the contractor delay and contractor don't pay it, then the engineer or the ministers is responsible. No.
Yeah, because people are saying perhaps you allegedly ate the money.
But how? How can I take a contractor's money to be paid? The contractor is just here, sit down in, and he's in town here. So, and to prove that, the government, this government, our Joseph Boakai government, right? Last budget year, 2025, they put $397,000 in our budget for that same road.
Was it done?
No, I mean, the same propaganda, the same politics, the left it and slide. In this year again, this government has put $750,000 again in the budget for the same road. So And I don't want to go like our legislators. They must wake up to go after these things, right? They sit there, they put money in the budget, they don't go after it. It elapses. Then you want to say somebody eat money. How can I eat a contractor's money? So there were phases he did some, he was paid for some, the same thing. So the phase for which he worked, he was paid for it, and there are a lot of money. The money that was left in the budget, that some money is still coming out. Same with the popular road. There was money left for the same road, and the government can still bring it out to complete the section. So how can somebody eat somebody's money?
All these things you've talked about, opportunity, the different works you did and all that, were they, and the different contracts that were already signed and stuff, were they in your turnover notes?
Which one?
All the things we've talked about in terms of achievements and different things.
Everything was in my turnover note. Everything.
Did you people at any point in time in your leadership of the ministry buy earth-moving equipment?
We did.
And it came to country?
Yes,
tell us about it.
Yes. So we actually have a contract with ABK, and that contract was worth $4,864,000.
Okay.
For 42 pieces of equipment.
Okay.
Later on, we did an addendum because on the first contract, we had asphalt paper and asphalt spiral. But as a ministry, we will not do paving. So we converted these two things to 11 pickups. So we have 40 pieces of earth-moving equipment with 11 pieces of pickups. In my turnover note, we have 27 of those equipments were in country.
The king went.
It was at the ministry. We used it. When we,
in which year did they come?
2023, all the equipments we left it. It was part of our handover note to the covering leadership.
Okay.
So we had a wheel loader. We have 5 wheel loaders, which when the people can call front hand loader.
Okay.
We have 5 pieces of that. The motor grader, we have 4 pieces. The compactor, we have 3. The bulldozer, we have 1. The excavator, we have 2. The dump trucks, we have 6 dump trucks. The pickup, we have 1. The low bed, we had 2 low beds. We had a fuel tank, 1, and the jackhammer, we had 1. So all the things was handed over to the current leadership. So I just kind of wondering why people are running up and down for moving equipment and told us something strange. We left it at the ministry. We left this equipment there. We left 27 pieces of moving equipment at the Ministry of Public Works. And that's what they're using now, they're doing all the demolitions. So why people not acknowledging what people did?
What about the vehicles you people are using, like many ministers, the kind you're using?
And thank you for bringing that up. The vehicle I was using was bought by the World Bank. We serviced it, and we filled the tank, and we left it right there for the minister. Besides that, I have some of the old project, pickup and those ones for other and the off-road service. Everything. Now one of those vehicles that I had, I left everything over. And besides, we have the 4 lights, the one you use for construction work at nights.
Mm-hmm.
It was bought by the World Bank. We left everything there. Even the minister in his office, I'm surprised or I'm disappointed for him to be running that he left mess. My office. If I didn't see only his computer he took there. Things that I personally bought, I bought a 75-inch television. I left it there. My entire office, my desks, my everything, I left it. Only my computer and my pictures I have on the wall, I took from there. So I don't know what mess you keep talking about. How can we be doing mess and continuing with the mess that we did?
Did you mess the road sector up? That's why he said that your government, cool, I'm done way better than you did. You messed it up. Some of the projects you took over from them, you did not complete. You did a whole lot of messy things.
I don't know his definition of mess. That's why I keep saying he's wrongfully placed. Technically, I think this will be the last one because we, the engineers, we will not sit that to happen anymore. We'll petition any president to take somebody from in the business field to be public work minister. That's where the problem coming from. So if Guinness was an engineer, he wouldn't speak the word he speak here. We're not lecturing. This is not history classes. This is technical. That's a technical institution. So when you say something, you must say with facts. Forgetting to sit and start talking about mess. How can you say mess? All the roads you left, the project today they're running with, the roads what they're breaking down homes so that's something that we created. We created it. We formulated into project, into contract. You continue everything. Everything we started, you continue. So what's the mess that we left behind? So the family, I think, is misplaced, and and that's his challenge he faced. So probably.
Well, he seems to be doing well, though. I mean, works are ongoing.
Works are going by works that we formulated, that work that we initiated, that work that we formed, and he been at the Ministry of Public Works, and he was there. When he left there, when he left, one more bulldozer with an escort. That's what they left there. We left there as a government. Today, I don't know why it stayed there, but we left it there. When we were leaving, we handed it over. So there are a lot of things. I want to say this: you can be living in a glass house and be throwing stone, So Guinness need to watch his steps, because we watching everything doing. We're watching every steps. Today we're discussing. There's a painting project that was ongoing. Today is actually stored.
A painting project where?
Within the public works ministry, in and around the public works ministry, you can come in and ask him what happened to that project. Who was the contractor? Who is the contractor?
What do you think is happening?
He would be the best person to explain.
No, it seems you have heard something. Is it a painting project that he initiated or what?
That's why I'm saying, he should know how to come on radio and say false things about people that he do not know. He can come here and tell me all that was 0 things that were doing Bopuli Road, and you see all the evidence, everything there. I know the contract did not finish because they didn't seal it, but you can sit and be saying things that technically it's not true. That's what I'm saying. So he should know that he also he's not an angel. He got his own mistakes that he's doing along the line, and we're watching it.
What would you have done differently? This whole demolition thing. I don't know. I was not in your cabinet, but if the government needs to carry out development, money business is not so common around. You need to open up alleys. The overhead bridges on go. You need to open up alleys and different things, and people have built on those alleys. You gave them 2-3 months to move, and they cannot move. You have the only option to demolish. What would you have done?
No, I just want to make this clear. For the legislator to put it in the budget, so we have a line item that will actually support our action. That will have been our position.
Put money there to pay people off, to at least compensate them. That is what you have done. Why do you think your government's policy did not focus much on working on lateral roads, keep them passable throughout the years, but mostly paving? I don't know if it is true, but I actually heard that this was President Weah's argument that it is better to just pave it than to be working on the lateral roads and all of that. Is it true? And if it is true, why was that a policy?
So let me say this, right? Before we got to the Ministry of Public Works, there was a policy that I did not read, but there was a policy I made that the Ministry of Public Works can do their own works. And when we brought in those equipment, we use it sufficiently. Some of the roads you see the guys doing right now, this government doing, there were enough border rocks. There were enough border rocks that we hauled on those roads. So there was enough border rocks. We hauled from the River Gisa coming to there were a lot of rock. Even the Sesto High, there was a lot of border rocks. So when a border rock is there, because of the water on the road, you have to put in a lot of border rock, and then you will kind of have the place to be stabilized. And that's what we started doing. So even if we were going to come back, we were still going to concentrate on repairing some of the roads like that, because we already initiated most of the roads. Even though our guys, they got a lot of money, because I know that road gets stuck on 2 million when, and it was there. But we did a lot. We put border rocks there to stabilize those critical sections along the road, and we had a plan. And now the plan prior to it. So we did lateral roads. The only thing the lateral road is almost like a waste, because every after every rainy season, you have to redo what you did. So the road they get everything was spoiled, everything. So you got to do it all over again. So we were thinking that at least as a government we can do 5-6 kilometers. At least we're going ahead. Even though we're doing other maintenance, we're doing other areas, but we're still going to concentrate on the pavement and because there's no way you can do it. People came, a lot of professional people came. They passed through the walls of the Ministry of Public Works. I was there. Today, Guinness is there. He will also, Mr. Guinness is there. He will also leave. So we can't sit there and act like we are so sophisticated, we are too professional, we are the smartest, and then we try to castigate other people. So it's a shared idea. We still have a lot of challenge in the infrastructure sector. Nobody will tell you that everything is very important and no one government will do it. That's why the government continues, and that's why we all have to work together as a team to build this country, because there are a lot more to be done.
Okay, thanks for kindly. Let's go to the phone lines. But before we can go there, let's understand the equipment business that you left. You said you budgeted to bring in, I think, 40 plus?
42 pieces of equipment, right? So we paid this contractor, and we were owing the contractor 800, I think $8.4 thousand. 800,000. Yes. So this government just needed to pay that contractor, and bring the rest of the equipment. I think the few that I was talking with the contractor said, you still owe the government. You say the government owe me just 800,000 to bring almost 20 pieces of equipment, and that's it. That has been a challenge. The contractor can be paid, the contract is hanging, and the rest of the equipment are still with the contractor.
Okay. 777-700-995, the numbers to call. And you will be true. We have with us former Public Works Minister Ruth Collins, presenting her side of the story, as we always do. Bring all of the sides and hear from them. Welcome, and let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. This is Akaros.
Go ahead, former Representative Gray.
Thank you for inviting the minister. I love the counterbalance. My minister, you have done extremely well. But I would just want for you to just re-emphasize on the issue of the demolition, especially when people are being affected, and maybe you can elevate the conversation on the RIA rule and that of the Rubber Sport rule. But I really want to tell you, thank you, Madam Minister. An engineer is just different from a politician. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so kindly for your call, Mr. Politician. Let's take former Assistant Minister Jeff Jackson. Jeff, welcome.
Yes, how are you, Julius? And Minister, thank you for the explicit conversation today. Julius, as the Minister said, right, we inherited a far messy public works from Giddings than what we gave him. We gave Giddings a paid yard. Public works entire yard was...
No, but when the Salif administration was leaving, Gideon was deputy minister. He wasn't minister proper. It was Judy Moore who was the minister.
He was in the hierarchy of the ministry. So that's why we had that what was handed over to us, a far messy Ministry of Public Works. And we gave you a far better public work. We like a public work with more equipment. Minister, we received 23 pieces of the equipment. The balance in our contract is $840,000.
She said so.
Yes, together. So we left you with, we received one completely messed up bulldozer, one excavator that was completely damaged. Those are the only two equipment we received from the Ministry of Public Works. We left them with over 23 pieces of brand new equipment and a contract for 47 pieces of equipment. That's the kind of public work we left. Come to the demolition. Look, we built roads in Clarendon. Don't community, we didn't build one house down. We didn't do us because we have professional people that are doing it. Look, I'm a team that is team and the Ministry of Public Works far more is so much incompetent. The minister, let's be clear about this. They are so incompetent. That's why you see them going around breaking people's houses and making.
Thanks so kindly, Jeff. I saw Benjamin Myers from the ministry calling. Benjamin, you can call back. Let's hear from your end before I take other calls quickly. Okay, let's go overseas before a call comes back in. Welcome, let's hear you.
Hi, Julia. Thank you for taking me.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is James in school, and I'm calling from Pennsylvania. So, my sister in there, Ruth, is my sister. We went to school together. I'm so proud of her. I mean, I'm happy that she went out to that level. So, my concern this morning is, as she was deliberating and listening to her, but you see, like, we're not going to probably do this. We have to go beyond this policy issue and try to focus on like anything like real principle body. These two big group of people, the Union Party and the CDC, wherever they go to this kind of discussion, they try to elevate the party other than the country. I mean, she explained everything. My own sister, I mean, I got problem with some of her explanation. I know that she's trying to be economical with the truth.
In terms of what?
I'm not aware of everything. That's what I'm coming to. Like, I think of two things. I think of two things that are making me to know that everything she said over there is not true. So, when she talked about the Yikipa project, when you ask her a question, that was there any way you don't want to go, she said she doesn't know she has to check, which is not true. Yeah,
No. It was Ganta. Wait on, Chief. Hello, Chief. Hello.
Yeah.
It was the Ganta to Sanikule. She said it was in progress. Hello?
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, she said it was in progress before she became minister. So she cannot say.
I agree. And that's what that's the same thing I'm talking about. So she knew because all these projects, there were gentlemen, there were documents for it. So but the reason why she didn't want to say it is because everybody want to elevate themselves.
But she admitted to projects that they inherited, and she said that there were 4 or 5 different things that she said their government inherited from the previous administration. So why do you think she would not clearly talk about that one too?
She talked about those projects, but she did not tell you the progress of those projects. But when she was discussing about the project that she was very, very eloquent, she told you exactly what they did. We secured the phone, we did all the program, we did all the. She was very good, but when she told about the project that they inherited, she didn't tell you.
But she would know the and the other government supposed to know the percentage.
That's why I'm telling you because the two governments, that's the problem they got.
Oh, okay. I get your point. Okay. Okay.
I got a detail already.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
We went 91
Yeah, but and she said and she said they left it at 91%.
Nothing was done. Nothing.
Okay. Okay. Thanks so kindly for your call. I appreciate it. Let's hear from Ministry of Public Works, Benjamin Myers. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Julia. Thank you for letting me in. So I listened to the minister. I'm not going to use some of the power words to you. It's going to be kept at a ministerial level. But then I was particularly concerned about two things she said. She said they did not leave the Ministry of Public Works. Anything, in fact, some of the rules were being constructed. They're trying to, make a different case. But one thing I can say, we all know that Freedom Law 1 and 2, from Granta to Second Year, from Second Year to Pakistan, that those rules were stopped. And the simple reason was that road is being constructed as a result of counterpart funding, and the government had the responsibility to assist from Granta to Second Year.
She said it. She said it. She said they have financial constraints.
Yes, so it is as a result of an irresponsible leadership that is not really made their share of the money to the contractor, and because of that, the contractor had to withdraw, and one thing also seeing that like was not zero, had to slow down his practice. When Mr. Giddy took over, by convincing the government that there was a need to have continued the rule. Currently, you see, they are ongoing work on our rule. Also, the minister did not mention between Salaye, Bangla to Salaye. Bangla to Salaye rule, the same thing happened. The counterpart money, the government did not remit for some projects. And as a result of that, that project stalled. What the minister wants to lecture on today, Freeport to Simple Bridge, that contract was signed with NDNC under her leadership. That contract was messy, and they gave the contractor first time. More often she wrote an individual letter to the contractor, creating an addendum to the project, something that violates all standards. Now, when the minister came, the contractor had a letter. Who asked you to create an addendum?
I don't know why the line is breaking up, man. Ben, I don't know where you are, but your call keeps breaking up, keeps buffering.
Oh, am I better now?
Yeah, better quickly.
Yeah, am I better? So the many projects were stopped. Even all of the electoral rules is speaking about how the put border rocks in certain places. Don't bring that on to Julius. You were here. The country, by the rainy season, nobody could move in the country. Even to Ruth College hometown, people could not easily go there. So they even cross Digital Town, we used to mention reaching Central Georgia. It was very difficult. Those are one of the difficult places that would be some of the difficult places to even move during the rainy season. Under Minister King, the president's 100-day deliverable worked effectively. All of those critical sections were restored using security them.
Okay.
And during the rainy season, people could move. I can't come into the
But because of time, man. Because of time, I mean.
people could move freely. And it seemed for the minutes, for the 4 minutes of the state of radio, they tried to write all something has never been witnessed in the history of Liberia.
Okay.
To conclude, she spoke about leading a better ministry. Julius, I will tell you no lie. I can bring you pictures, I can bring you video of his filthy, his dirty, his leaky ministry that the minister of them. Even all the minister of them was leaking.
Okay. So she right, use so she used to be working and be leaking on her desk. Okay. Okay, thanks so kind of because of time. Welcome. Let's hear you quickly. We have to go back to our guests. Welcome. Let's hear you. Yeah. Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. The line is so hot. Let's take from our Deputy Minister Todd. Deputy Minister Todd, welcome quickly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Julius. Thank you. Because of time, I will be here. So quickly, Minister, thank you for the brilliant presentation. The reality is the Minister of Public Works will turn over to the current regime in a better position than we made it. Dave already stated that, yourself stated that. But the reality is, you cannot say that the former regime turned over mess to this current regime.
Then you lead a massive leaking ministry. It was leaking on the minister's desk allegedly.
Those are petty. So I don't want to mess. The road from Kanta to Sagapie, all other regimes before the citizen government have always tried to construct. It was not a mess. The road from Sagapie to Tapeta, it was not a mess. The Jetnet contract, the road from Kanta to Senegal was not a mess. The road from Senegal to Kape, Lokatua was not a mess. The road from Senegal to the Mali P, was not a mess. Another talk about road. Government, I go right over here. The Simmons, Common Road. What's that a mess? Meaning, you have to start in stages. From Baga to Saget
To Salaye.
To Salaye. What's that a mess? You can't say those roads are a mess. Massive separation. And many other community roads. The Baga Road.
Okay.
And all the roads in the Rena community, the Aratu community road, the Ralphie Highway.
She named all of them. She named all of them. You don't need to belabor the point.
The 5 days to years, the Minister of Public Works was in a far better position.
Okay.
Quickly, you had 2 equipment. All 2 were Procuta. All 2 were Procuta. 1 excavator and one motor bill. It was all Procuta. We left over 40 some pieces in brand new ones. Alright? You didn't need to pay the balance money to get the balance, but we have brand new equipment in stock, we have trucks in stock. You cannot intervene, you cannot make a substantial intervention.
Okay.
You don't have the equipment to support it.
Thanks so kindly. So we'll hold you there. We have to go back to her for the last 4 minutes. Let's squeeze in Benedict, called by former Assistant Minister of Finance. Benedict, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Minister. You're doing extremely well. I want to say thank you. One of the things Julia did to ask the former Minister, one of the massive road contractors left. One of the change those massive contractors because if it was better for us, they should have changed all the contractors. Madam Minister, I just want you to transfer right on the road because they listen on the road from Saniboli to Tapeta because the most progress they have made on kilometer of road is from that road from Saniboli to Tapeta.
No, that's Saclé Pied too. Okay, thanks so kindly. We'll hold you there. Let's squeeze in this one. Welcome, 30 seconds.
Hello, Julius. My name is Nancy Kabara. I want to get. Madam Minister, thanks for the excellent presentation. I am so proud of you as a woman, and I believe that a lot of young women see you as their role model. This is a reason why women should be given the opportunity to study and to learn rather. Somebody said she was being economical of the truth, no, she wasn't. She didn't want to be a liar because the other gender lies with no fear. What she's trying to say, you Judas, when you answer, one of the past United Party government was the one that started the project. She said she has to do a research because she met the project ongoing for her predecessor, which is the late minister. So she cannot lie and say, oh yeah, it was done or it wasn't done. So she was not being economical with the truth. And our policy on demolition was very excellent because we believe in the people. Our government is constituted for the people. So if a government becomes so much insensitive and doesn't care about how the people will feel or how the people will live, then it becomes a problem.
Thanks. So kind of wait. Let's take Engineer Delano Bryant quickly. I'm fine. Go ahead.
Minister Ruth, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, you can go ahead quickly. She's listening.
Oh, I have a few points here on the conversation that's unfolding regarding the infrastructure sector of Liberia.
Hello? Oh, you went off. I think we're just going to there, folks. We'll give us the last 4 minutes to respond. And also, the final question from my end will be the infrastructure conference. You wrote about it, and then the minister later on said they invited you, and then we didn't see you. Yeah.
So you want to start with that?
Yeah, start with that.
Okay, so, the communication we wrote, it was not that we were craving to attend. For the matter of fact, we wrote that to document our current leadership because that was not the first. They have had other engagements. In fact, the Road Fund and other people, they had other engagement, and there was no communication actually written to any of us. I was kind of saying this to say that we are all laborers. If you have your space to do your work, you work and leave. We are not enemies. So that communication was written for us to archive it, so that when he is served in outside of government, that he can use it as a reference. But not that I was actually really in a craving to attend. So when his communication came, when his online invitation came, I was actually, I had another engagement to go to. That's why I did not attend it. And he did not call me. Nobody called me. Nobody called me, and I saw some text message from somebody telling you coming or you're not coming. So, I mean, so I had to do other things, that I have already planned to do. But the communication was not basically because I wanted to attend.
It was just to make a point that this should have happened and it didn't happen.
Exactly, I think it's clear.
Okay, can you respond to the other things quickly? We have just 2 minutes.
So we are not disappointed to listen to the caller from the Ministry of Public Works to speak the way he spoke. We are decent. We paved the Ministry of Public Works. We changed roof. We did a lot of work. To say we never message Public Works, I mean, it's not strange because our people, they are noted for that. They speak